was just doing a test of this device, the West Coast Saws bark box, which is muffler cover for steel saws. This is a holds former Farmertec G660, which is the copy of the MS660. And I was intrigued by the bark box, so I went out and bought one. Got it straight from West Coast Saw, from Gordy at West Coast Saw. So with the saw, it comes in like a nice container. You got your invoice. You don't get that. Comes in just a cardboard box, and you get a bit of merch. So you get a 10% discount. So I've got a 10% discount, and you get a West Coast Saw sticker, which will go on the saw. It's got the bark box on it. Sorry about the fan noise, but it is quite hot. Now, I wanted to see exactly what difference it made. What difference does the bark box make? And there was one surprising result. So I was using just a laser infrared thermometer. There you go, infrared thermometer. And I was using a digital tacho. Now, I was doing it without a bar and chain, just bare. And some people might say, well, you should really test it with the bar and chain. Yeah, that's a bit problematic, because with this tacho, what you do is on the clutch, you put a piece of reflective tape that gets supplied with this, and that's the datum point that this runs off. That this it calculates how many times that revolves around. I do have a tacho that wraps around the spark plug lead, but still is such a pain in the ass it's a pain to do that, because I would have to take the covers off and wrap it around there and try and hold it on there, and it was just a lot easier to just use one of these with a piece of tape on the clutch, like on the outer part of the drum. Now, and it's very accurate. What can I say? So the results were surprising. So what I'll do is I'll put the results up on the screen so you can have a look at them. But first of all, we'll just do. I'll just run the footage of me doing the test. Okay, so we'll start the test, and I'll explain exactly what's going on. I'll do the tests, and then I'll put the bark box on, and once all that's finished, I'll go inside and explain everything to you with all the numbers. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll let it cool down back down to room temperature, ambient temperature, and then I'll install the bark box and do the same tests. Okay, I just wanted to show you how the bark box looks, because once I fit it, I don't think I'll be taking it off. So there's a spark screen which you can take out. You would have to actually grind that plate off, which is a bit sharp. It's been laser cut. You'd have to grind that off to get the spark screen off. It's all TIGged. It's all stainless. It's like looks like 2.5 mil, 2 mil stainless. I'll have to measure it. I have to say, let's see there, it is very, very well made. It's pretty heavy. I don't know whether the stainless was the way to go. I think aluminium is the way to go. It dissipates heat a lot better, but we'll have to wait and see. But the TIG work is, like, anyone who knows anything about TIG, that is meticulous. That is superb. Really, really good job. So anyway, that's what it looks like. And also in the box you get a bit of merch. You get a discount for your next purchase, and you get a West Coast Saw sticker. Sorry it's a bit dark, but yeah, I am in the shade, so maybe in post-production it'll improve. So we'll just wait for it to cool down. Okay, so it's cooled back down to ambient temperature, so I'll go through the same test, but this time with the bark box. I'm a bit surprised there's no gasket. I'm a bit surprised there's no gasket between the cover and the muffler itself. So what I'm going to do different is I'm going to measure 2 temperatures on the muffler, on the black case, and also on the bark box cover itself, because they're 2 different materials. So we'll see what happens. But what I'll do is first I'll measure the maximum revs, because on the stock, with the stock muffler, it was topping out at 13,550, which is pretty good. Hearing protection. Just waiting for 2 minutes. I'm taking a temperature 2 minutes after shutdown to see which one cools down quicker, if at all. Okay, so you saw that. Now, so let's go through the results. Okay, with the stock muffler. So what I was doing, I was initially testing the revs, the max revs. So with the stock muffler, I had this set at 13,550 revolutions per minute, which is like 50 revolutions per minute more than apparently what it's supposed to run at, what you're supposed to have it running at. 50 revs more, no biggie. Which is pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, so that was the high revs with the stock muffler, 13,550. Now the temperatures. So what I would do, what I did was I ran it for 10 seconds, flat out. Took a temperature. Now where I took the temperature on the stock muffler was just on the cover itself, and on one of the fins in the same spot on the same fin every time on the cylinder. So after the first go, so it's a 10-second hold. After the first one, so this is all in Celsius, so if you want to know what it is in Fahrenheit, you can do the conversions. After the first go, the cylinder was 82 degrees and the muffler was 161, so that muffler got really, really hot real quick. After the second go, the cylinder was 110 degrees and the muffler was 182. And after the third go, the cylinder was 122 degrees and the muffler was 200. It was really hot. And then I let it cool down for 2 minutes and took the temperatures again, and after 2 minutes cool down, the cylinder was 94 degrees and the muffler 102. So the muffler cooled down, relatively speaking, the muffler cooled down a lot quicker than the cylinder, but then there's a lot more mass in the cylinder. So then I installed the bark box, as you saw in the vid, and ran it, used the tacho to test the revs. Here's a surprise, which I wasn't expecting. The high revs, it was running at 13,660 revolutions per minute. So that is 110 revs more per minute than with the stock muffler, which, yeah, maybe you can explain what the go there is. I was expecting like temperature differences and that, but it's running quicker with the bark box, which is surprising. And that running quicker might go a little bit of the way to explain this. So I reckon if I tune that down to the same revs, 13,550, that the stock muffler was running at, I reckon these temperatures would be cooler. Because after the first run with the bark box, the cylinder was 93, which is 11 degrees hotter than stock. The muffler was 50, so I measured temperature on the actual muffler itself and then also on the cover, because they are different materials. So the cylinder was 93, which is 11 degrees hotter. And I let this thing cool down over about 40 minutes or so. The cylinder was 93, 11 degrees hotter than stock. The muffler was 54, and the bark box was 54, which is really cool. I was looking at it and I was going, is that right? But it's right. Then after the second go, the cylinder was 112, which is 2 degrees hotter than stock. The muffler was 94 and the bark box was 62. That's a lot cooler. Now after the third go, the cylinder was 124, which is again 2 degrees hotter than stock. The muffler was 107 and the bark box cover was 72. That's like a lot cooler. Like yeah, it's bizarre. Like that muffler and the bark box cover run so much cooler. Probably because you're letting so much air, it's not being constricted in the muffler and holding that temperature, it's just getting out. So that's a massive difference. And then after 2 minutes cool down, the cylinder was 85, which is 9 degrees cooler than stock. The muffler was 85 and the bark box cover was 60. So a massive difference because with the bark box it was running 110 revolutions per minute quicker, I reckon it was distorting things a bit, because if I tune that down to 13,550 like the stock number revs, I reckon that cylinder probably would have been cooler. So essentially what these numbers say is that the cylinder doesn't run any cooler. Well, where I was measuring the cylinder doesn't run any cooler, but the muffler itself is a lot cooler. A lot. And like essentially the opposite of what the stock numbers are saying. So with the stock muffler, the muffler consistently ran, twice as hot as the cylinder on all three goes, on all three passes, whereas the bark box, it's essentially, a lot cooler. The muffler and the bark box cover were a lot cooler, which is the opposite of the stock muffler, which is, I didn't expect that at all. I was expecting, sort of similar results, nothing drastic, but that is a drastic difference. So, I don't know, if you've got a bark box and you've done temperature readings and whatnot, and high rev readings, Let me know what your numbers are, because this is, I just was not expecting that at all. It really, yeah, it's bizarre. Now, obviously because of the muffler design of the Husqvarnas, you can't put a bark box on there. But I do have a big dual port muffler on my G660 XP, and what I might do is I might do a similar test with that, because this has really got me thinking, and it really got, yeah, it's intriguing. The result is very, very intriguing. I'm pretty keen to see what running that thing on the with a stock muffler and the dual port, because I don't know, I didn't really notice a whole lot of difference. As far as noise, a lot of people say that the bark box is really, really loud. It's louder, but I don't think it's ridiculously loud like some people make out. So there you go. That's the results. I don't know. Maybe if you've done the test, you've had different results, or you might be surprised by these results, because I certainly was, and am, still am. Yeah, there you go. So I might do the G660 XP with that other muffler, see how that muffler works. So until then, see you later.